What's up, everybody? It's the Alex Leak and Friends NFL podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak, and we have a very special guest on the show, back on for a second time, former Cleveland Browns safety, Felix Wright. Thanks so much for coming on the show, Felix.
Alex, I appreciate it. I look forward to it. Yes,
Yeah.
The last time I had a great time, and I'm sure we'll have a good time tonight.
Yeah, I'm excited. Always fun having you on the show. This is going to be the 2020 Wild Card Round playoff preview. And we're going to talk about the Cleveland Browns. You were a Cleveland Browns safety for 6 years in the mid to late 1980s.
Yes.
You were playing 8 playoff games and 3 AFC championship games. When you think back on when you were on the team and all this consistent success and consistent playoff trips and how long it's been, and the Browns now back in the playoffs, so you got to be excited for this time and excited for the Browns and the city of Cleveland.
Well, it's surreal, and I just can't believe how long it's taken for us to get back here.
Yeah,
But we've been through a lot as far as the Browns fans, losing the team, coming back 3 years later, and haven't really done much, in the years that we've been back. And to finally get there, it's an amazing feeling. You can, when you walk outside and go to a mall, or I live out in Westlake here. You go to Crocker Park and you just see people, and that's all they talk about is the Browns, and we're in the playoffs. And
yeah,
Cleveland is an unbelievable sports town, and it definitely. You can definitely tell on Monday if we won or lost. So it makes a difference to us.
that's cool.
Sure. Yeah.
Now these 2020 Browns, quite the turnaround. First year GM Andrew Berry, rookie head coach Kevin Stefanski, and you go 11-5 and make the playoffs. I was critical of the Freddie Kitchens hire. I didn't think it was the right fit, for a young Baker Mayfield and all that. But I think Stefanski seems to be a perfect fit, and they're having success right away. Do you like what Kevin Stefanski is bringing?
Yes, I got a chance to meet him, and we had a great conversation at a Cavs game. And I said, man, he's a pretty good guy. I like him. I liked his demeanor.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low. And I think he's proven that he can get the job done. And he also proved to you coaching matters, and the culture matters.
Yeah.
And I think that he's came in and he's changed the culture, because we really got the same group of guys we had the year before.
Yeah.
And the coach before just didn't get the job done. Plain and simple, he just didn't get the job done. He's probably a little bit over his head.
Mm-hmm.
And Kevin's came in and done a great job. He's young, just like our young football team.
Mm-hmm.
He communicates with them well, gets his message across, and he doesn't let the team get too high, too low, which I think is good because it's a long season.
Yeah.
And he was able to, turn things around for us, and I think we're in for some good years of football, in the years to come.
Yeah, and the thing I like about Stefanski is when he was in Minnesota, my issue there was they weren't using Dalvin Cook in the running game enough. And then when Stefanski started getting it, they had more success. And what I like that he's done in Cleveland is built the offense around Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and a physical presence and physical run game. And that, I think, has a good chance of translating into January football.
Yeah, when you get into playoff football, you got to be able to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the only way you're really going to have success in the passing game, because if you can run strong, you keep those front seven on the ball, which opens up the play action game as well. So with who we're facing this week with the Steelers, their front seven is dominant, and they're ferocious as far as the pass rush. And the only way we're going to be able to slow them down is to have success in the running game and running screens to keep them honest. As long as we can keep them honest, I think we're going to be okay. But, the way we started off the first game we played with them this year, it wasn't real good. So We'll see what happens when we go back. We haven't had much success there in the last, 20 years that we played there.
Mhm.
But, when I came here, I heard about the rival of the Steelers, and I didn't really understand it until I actually played in the game and actually won. I think, in my 6 seasons, I don't remember the exact record, but I think I was 5-1 there. So
Nice.
when the tide starts to turn, it will turn. And I think the tide is about to turn. And what better way to turn that tide in this weekend coming up on primetime football?
Yeah, and speaking of the Steelers, the hated division rival, a lot of history there. They've, come in and beat up on the Browns a lot, in the recent years. But this is a team that started, 11-0, and they kind of peaked mid-season, and now they've lost 4 of the last 5. And so it might be an opportunity. I know there's a lot of adversity with COVID and Stefanski not being able to coach, but I think, who knows? Maybe the Browns can come in here and at least keep it competitive and maybe steal it.
Well, I think so as well. I mean, we got great personnel as well. We're one of the youngest teams in the league. We're gonna be just fine. Yeah, it's gonna hurt that we're losing Batonio and we're losing our coach, but we still have players out there that can make some plays. So, when you say that they've lost their last 4 out of 5 games, that's 20 quarters, and 18 of those 20 quarters, they just haven't played real well football. They don't really have a running game right now. Their passing game is okay, but you figure 2 quarters out of those 20 quarters that they played, they came and beat Indianapolis there at the end, which put them in position to win the conference. But they're not playing their best ball right now, I don't feel.
Yeah.
It's not something that you can just turn a switch on right now and say, okay, we're going to start playing playoff ball and things like that. So I think that they willed themselves to win in that Indianapolis game. They didn't play all their guys, so it wasn't a good measure of last week's. But, our goal was just to win the game so we can get in the tournament.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we're in the tournament, I think we're going to be fine. I think we're playing real well. Like I said, we're going to miss those guys, but this is an opportunity for those guys, those backup players, to come in and make some plays to ensure that they get another contract as well. So I'm sure they're going to be ready. And, and this is the time where we really need Baker to come through for us. And I think this is going to be the game that's going to determine if he's going to get that long-term deal.
Now, speaking of Baker, how do you think they should attack it? Do you think that this is a game where you kind of is a prove-it game for Baker, where you say go out there and sling it and trust your abilities and play with confidence? Or do you think they should run the ball first and play within that and try, hold Baker back a little bit from himself a little bit? How do you think they should do that?
Well, Baker was hot the last, 5 weeks of the season. He's been pretty hot passing the ball. But our strength is really, truly running the ball.
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to establish our run and time management is going to be important too.
Yeah.
So time management, and the only way you can do time management is if you run the ball successfully, get first down after first down, be patient, take the ball down the field. Field position is important. And the longer our offense can keep the ball, the better for our defense, because our defense is subpar. So, so our offense is our best defense. So, and my dream is that we start off fast, just like we did against the Tennessee Titans, and make them chase us, and let the chips fall where they may then.
Yep, and you can get pressure on Big Bang, get some sacks on them, have them playing from behind. It's Absolutely. A good recipe. Now, did you hear – so you said – where are you at again? You said you were in where you live?
Oh, I'm in Westlake, Ohio, which is where a lot of the Browns – I'd say probably about 30 to 40% of the Browns players live here in Westlake over at the Crocker Park area, and I just live right down the street from here, yes.
That's cool. So a little story, I'm sure you heard this, but the rookie, Jedrick Wills and Rashard Higgins, getting a little bit of a drag racing thing there.
They were probably doing a little speeding.
I mean, that's not that big of an issue, but do you remember some stories like that when you played, like some teammates or, doing some crazy stuff like that? There had to be some
Oh
good
yeah,
stories from the 80s.
when you're young like that, and you got a little souped up car,
Yeah.
and you want to put the pedal to the metal a little bit. So we did a little bit of that.
Mhm.
Uh, so I understood it when I first heard it. I just kind of snickered and laughed because I've been there.
Yeah.
Uh, but and like I said, they had never been in this position before, so it wasn't good timing.
Yeah.
But and hopefully they've learned their lesson, and go from there. But I don't think too many people are really too upset. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one thing to do some racing, but it's another thing to be out, with a DUI or something like that.
Absolutely.
So we'd rather them not do that right now at this particular time, but you know, those things are going to happen when you give young guys that kind of money. They're going to go out and buy those fast cars, and
Yeah.
they're going to test them out. We just hope that maybe next time they decide to do that, they'll do it way out in the country where nobody can see them or catch them, and do it that way.
Absolutely. So even regardless of what happens in this game, you got to be optimistic about the future. It seems to be a good core being built there in Cleveland. A lot of young players, like you talked about. Um, and what do you think? What's your takes on like the Odell Beckham Jr. stuff? For whatever reason, the team seems to have more success, and Baker seems to have more success way down the field. Do you think going forward, maybe moving on from him and still going younger and developing the score?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Odell is a outstanding football player. He's got stickum hands. He makes things happen. He can stretch the field. I think it's something that him and Baker have to work out. More so Baker.
Yeah.
They're two alpha guys.
Mhm.
And I think that's something that they have to work out between them. But I think one of our issues now is that we don't really have a receiver that can stretch the defense.
Yeah.
Like a Cheetah or Tyreek Hill for the Chiefs,
Yeah.
or the kid that plays for Buffalo that can stretch the field. I don't think we
Stephon
have that right
Diggs.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs. But we got guys, possession down guys now that can get us to 10 yards, to 20 yards. But that long bomb,
Mhm.
we really don't have that guy. We need that guy. I mean, and Odell, I think, is that guy that is able to do it. Unfortunately, he's not available right now. But I know that we've had a lot of success without him being on the field. But
Mhm.
I think that that's something that that Baker and Odell need to work out between themselves, and the coaching staff needs to work out to where they can work together and make it happen, because not too often you get elite receivers like that. Now, he's been
Yeah.
injured, and I think he's going to come back full strength, and I think he understands what we need, and he enjoys being here. He loves Cleveland, which I think is important as well. And I think he's changed as a ball player, because when he was with the Giants, you've seen all these different kind of antics and craziness, and I don't think he's done that here, because I think
Yeah.
that he likes it here, and I think that Landry, his best friend, has maybe tamed him down a little bit, and
Mhm.
no nonsense, and that we're just trying to get to the big game, and that's the key. And I know a lot of people think that maybe we should just leave and move forward away from him. But in my feeling, I think we need a guy that can stretch the field, and then we'll have the total package.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that take. Now, so you made the playoffs as a young player right off the bat. You were making the playoffs with the Browns.
Yes.
What advice do you have to the young roster playing their first playoff game? The nerves are going to be there. You're playing the hated division rival. How do you calm yourself down and just play the game?
Well, you know what? It's tough. It's tough not to. And back then, just we didn't have to worry about the COVID. We
Yeah.
could, we were able to just kind of focus on getting ready for the game planning, and just making sure that we knew exactly what we were supposed to do on every play. And just today with the guys is that we're a younger team. We're going to be missing a few guys on there, which is kind of make us a little nervous. But I think once the game gets started, I mean, we really shouldn't be nervous. We should just be really loose and going out there because we really have nothing to lose. We've had a great season. We're not really expected to win, so that should relieve some pressure as well. Yeah. And just go out there and basically play for next year. I mean, because you're not guaranteed a spot next year, so you got to play well, you got to perform well, understand the game plan and watch your opponent on film just to see some of their tendencies, and to just go out and read and react. It still all comes down to blocking and tackling.
Mm-hmm. So the fundamentals,
Yes, if they can do that and stick with the game plan and jump out early, I think we're gonna be fine. But I think all the pressure is on the Steelers, and if the Steelers fall behind more than a touchdown or two in this coming game, panic's gonna set in, which is gonna make it worse for them.
Yeah, then Big Ben will start throwing those picks, and that's exactly what you need.
Yeah, we need some. We need some because we haven't had a whole lot this year. So.
Yeah. Do you have? So I know you follow the Browns. You follow the entire league. Do you have like a Super Bowl prediction you're thinking about, or what? How are you thinking about these playoffs?
Well, I really didn't have a Super Bowl prediction, but going into it, you look at the AFC. You look at Kansas City. They're just loaded.
Yeah.
But they're beatable. Mm-hmm. So if I had to choose one, I'd have to go with the Chiefs. But I think anybody in the AFC, if they get hot at the right time, can do it. You look at Baltimore, mm-hmm. is hot. Mm-hmm. You look at the Browns, they're hot. Mm-hmm. And you look at Buffalo, they're hot. Yeah. So and you look at maybe Tennessee's kind of border, because we kind of whooped up on them, and they're kind of up and down. Indianapolis is kind of up and down, and the Steelers are kind of up and down. You don't know what team you're going to get. Yeah. So you got 3 or 4 teams there. You got the Browns, the Chiefs, the Ravens, and the Bills that are really hot. So one of those 4 teams I think are going to be in the championship. So, but if I had to put any money, I'd have to go with the Chiefs because they're the defending champions and they're the ones that the awesome quarterback.
Yeah.
But if you look at all those teams, we have good quarterbacks as well. It's just not really elite yet. You're not elite until you actually get to the big game.
Yeah.
But on the NFC side, you look at the Packers who, you're going to have to go through Green Bay.
Oh man, Lambeau,
which is going to be tough. And
yeah.
Aaron Rodgers is playing at an unbelievable level. And the last time I saw him playing like this, they went to Dallas and won the Super Bowl against the Steelers 10 years ago, I think it was.
Yeah.
But they look like it. And Tampa Bay's playing pretty good as well.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to pick a team, I would have to say the Chiefs and the Packers.
Yeah.
So ironically, I think I don't know my history that well on who played the first Super Bowl, but was it the Chiefs and the Packers?
I'm pretty sure it was the first Super Bowl. Yeah.
So that would be pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm hoping and praying that the Browns can get there. That would be amazing if they did.
Mm-hmm.
It would be amazing because we're not really as we're only going to get better.
Yeah.
So if we can just win one game or go all the way, that would just be unbelievable because if we're going to get better as we go, which means that we can rattle off 2 or 3, just like we think maybe Kansas City's going to do now, rattle off 2 or 3 in a row before people start catching up with them.
Yeah, I agree. And it's the strength of the team. Like you said, the running game, it leads to – I can see a scenario where they beat the Steelers because of that running game, ball control. And if you get a lead, because the Steelers are so pass happy, the running game doesn't scare anybody.
Yeah. Right.
I think the biggest key, protect the football with that defense. The Steelers defense can be pretty nasty.
Yeah. That Steelers defense is good. I mean, they got some players over there.
Yeah.
And they got a great front line. So then they come and get you.
Yeah.
So, The only way that we can really protect, our quarterback is our run game's got to be successful, and then we got to keep him honest. So if we can keep him honest, then that's going to be the key to the game. And as you can tell, the first time we played them, they crushed us on their defensive line. So Baker, we need to give Baker some time, but also we need to have Baker get get rid of the ball a little quicker as well. So
I like what you said about building for the future too, because it's almost like the Browns may be like a year early. So
yes.
it's awesome they made the playoffs. And if with the history of the Steelers and the Ravens, kind of like they've beat the Browns like early in the year badly. And so and then the Browns were a lot more competitive of late. So I think if the Browns can at least keep it competitive, keep it a one-score game, and be there at the end, that alone can be great for building towards next year.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. That's the key. If we can take off early on them, or we can keep the game close, the nerves are only going to build up. Mm-hmm. Because the closer you get to the end of the game, the more panic's going to set in, saying the Browns aren't supposed to be this close or even in this game.
Mm-hmm. So, and how cool would that be if the Browns could find a way to pull the upset and beat the Steelers in the playoffs? Cleveland would be going nuts.
Oh, Cleveland would be going crazy. And the odds makers, they put us at an underdog at -3.5, and I think now it's at -6, even with our coaches being out. So -6, it still can go either way. Mm-hmm. So it's not like they're going to win by a landslide, or what the odds makers think. And the odds makers are pretty good at what they do. Mm-hmm. So that means that we're going to be in the game, and hopefully it comes down to the end and we can pull through.
I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I'm going to be watching so many good football games this weekend. So yeah. I appreciate you taking some time to come on.
All right, buddy.
Always fun talking with you, and go Browns this weekend.
Hey, go Browns, and thanks for the invite, and maybe we'll see you again down the road.
Sounds good. Thanks for your time. Appreciate it coming on. Thanks for the support. Everybody, don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Have a great weekend, guys. Peace out.
Later.